Steve has been a menace ever since his release, but one Steve main pushed the character to a new level this past weekend at Glitch Infinite, Smash Ultimate's latest major held in Laurel, Maryland. Seeded 31st, Jake made 4 of the tournament's biggest upsets en route to a 3rd place finish, the best for any Steve player at an Ultimate major yet. As we detailed in Tuesday's recap, Jake's total upset factor of 27 for the tournament was the highest ever by a top 8 finisher at an American major. This was a huge breakout performance, and perhaps the greatest evidence yet that Steve is going to be a major force in the competitive scene. How did he do it? Perhaps you've seen some of the wild combos Steve is capable of, dragging you across the stage, building blocks, linking up smashes into more up smashes, and securing the KO before you know what's hit you. You won't be seeing any of those in this video. Jake hit a few up tilt strings for big damage, but the flashy combos were not the story behind Jake's run. No, to truly understand what made Jake's run possible, we have to go back to what makes Minecraft Minecraft. Resources. Smash has had resource management characters before Steve. Olimar has to babysit his Pikmin order and play around their attributes, much like he does in the Pikmin games, but none with quite as much going on as Steve. Steve has to manage resources in order to create blocks, he has to mine in order to upgrade his weapons, and he needs to collect iron in order to use 2 of his most important moves, the side special minecart and the down air anvil. Not only are these moves incredibly powerful, both capable of killing sub 100, assuming you have the gold for powered rail minecarts, but they're critical to Steve's movement as well. Steve's walk speed is tied for 11th worst, and his run speed is 11th worst all on its own. His airspeed actually falls into the bottom 10, landing at 7th below the likes of Incineroar and Banjo and Kazooie. Without the minecart to pick up speed, and without the anvil for stalling, Steve would find himself easily rushed down by speedy characters like Fox and Roy. If he wants to keep up, he has to keep mining. Surprising absolutely nobody, the minecarts were out in force during Jake's run to 3rd place. In his 4 major upsets alone, Jake spawned 250 minecarts and 79 anvils. Covering 13 games, that comes out to a per game average of 19.2 minecarts and 6.1 anvils. Much of Jake's neutral is spending as much of the game as possible turning a huge portion of the stage into a zone where you simply cannot step into without getting crushed by some sort of gigantic metal object. Jake has not always gotten away with these minecarts. At his first major, InfinityCon, Ned repeatedly stuffed his jump minecarts with Sephiroth's counter, deleting stocks at absurdly low percents. Not so much at Glitch. Jake was punished just over 4 times per game for his minecarts, and most of those were extremely light punishes, along the lines of a Fox Nair or a purple Pikmin toss. That's nowhere near enough of a punish to stop Steve from barging on in, and barge in he did, hitting 3.3 minecarts per game and securing 4 KOs off the move. Jake rained down scrap metal in the set against a Buzz in particular, a barrage of minecarts on one side against purple Pikmin on the other. Jake spawned a ridiculous 134 minecarts across the 5-game set, peaking at 36 in Game 3. They weren't particularly effective on offense. He never hit more than 5 in a single game, and only once in Game 3 did he find a KO with a cart. But they did provide a critical shield against DeBuzz's Pikmin onslaught. These moves are powerful and safe, but they come with a cost. To earn the right to spam them to this degree, you have to find the time and space to mine. It's not as easy as it sounds. Take one of the other upstart Steve players from this weekend, Yori. Also a Bayonetta and Min Min player, Yori used Steve to make some major upsets of his own over the Glitch weekend, taking out top French Captain Falcon player OG and double eliminating Ling Ling en route to a 17th place finish, all with Steve. Yori also matched up with Cola, giving us a great point of comparison. Another Steve playing against one of the players Jake upset. After losing Game 1 with Min Min, Yori went Steve for Game 2. Cola played almost perfect rushdown throughout the game, suffocating Yori and keeping him without iron in the resource bar for much of the game. Yori only used a combined 13 iron moves in that game. That's just barely above half of the 25 per game Jake used in his 4 upsets. Across those 13 games, Jake never used fewer than 16 iron moves in a single match. D-Dog, the Steve from Staten Island who made waves by double eliminating Tweak at Fusion 100, also had a fantastic performance at Glitch Infinite, taking out Colorado 8 and Zenodo on his way to 17th place. In yet another convenient twist for our analysis, D-Dog matched up with 2 of the players Jake upset in his Rampage, Light and Gacked. Let's do the same analysis. How does D-Dog's iron usage against these players compare to Jake's? It's actually remarkably close. The two players used almost exactly the same amount of minecarts per game, with the only difference being a substantially higher anvil usage from Jake, 5 to 2.7 per game. Jake's ability to combo footstools out of shield into the anvil was a big factor behind his performance, but this suggests that there must be more to it than iron usage. After all, Jake won all 5 games he played against Light and Gact, whereas D-Dog won just 1 out of 7. And indeed, there's one other big factor to resource management with Steve, and it's here where Jake truly excels. Diamond management. Steve is a good character. Diamond Steve is a monster. Steve's diamond tools do 1.35 times damage. That number might not mean a whole lot by itself, so here's some context. A fully charged smash attack does 1.4 times damage, with a few exceptions, none involving Steve. Must be nice to do a fully mostly charged smash attack without charging. Keeping diamonds on hand can be critical because not only is diamond the best tool upgrade, but the other strongest tool upgrades, gold for better frame data or iron for 1.2 times damage, are resources better used elsewhere. Each gold ingot can be used for 4 powered rails, and we've already talked about how valuable iron moves are. 1.2 times damage is nice, but it might not be worth sacrificing iron for carts and anvils. To get diamonds, you simply have to keep mining. The technical details are a lot more complicated, but in most cases, on most competitive stages, 33 mines will make a diamond. So if you want to ensure you have enough diamonds for all 3 stocks, you're going to need to mine about 100 times. To do that while some of the best players in the world are chasing you down is much easier said than done. Across the 13 games in Jake's big upsets, he mined 40 diamonds, an average of just over 3 per game. In some of the games where Jake only got 2 diamonds, such as Game 3 versus Cola and Game 1 versus Gact, he simply won too quickly to mine the 3rd. In all but 2 of the games we analyzed, Game 1 versus Light and Game 2 versus DeBuzz, Jake pulled a diamond within the game's first minute. Interestingly enough, Jake would win both games, perhaps in part due to decisions by Light and DeBuzz to play slow at the end and allow him to pluck a late game 3rd diamond. This is a clear game plan. Have diamond on deck as often as possible. We saw it pay off throughout the run. Everything turned in Game 5 against DeBuzz after this tech chase forward smash cleaned up DeBuzz's second stock under 70%.
Got the rage.
Okay.
Fair. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, my goodness!
How did this happen? The power of diamond. Jake lost his first stock very early in that Game 5, eating a purple Pikmin forward smash at 89%, with DeBuzz sitting at just 37. But that deficit wasn't fatal, because Jake had already been sitting on a diamond for 20 seconds. Jake would spend the rest of the game with diamond tools on deck, and that's why it didn't matter that DeBuzz went nearly 40 seconds without getting hit after spawning on his second stock. With one opening, Jake changed the course of the game and paved the way to victory in his most dramatic set of the weekend. Once again, we're lucky to have points of comparison in D-Dog and Yori. How did their diamond acquisition compare? There simply is no comparison. D-Dog mined just 9 diamonds across 7 games with Light and Gact, 1.3 per game. Against the same foes, Jake mined 13 diamonds in just 5 games, doubling that amount. Yori did not even get a single diamond in his game against Cola. Jake plucked 11 diamonds in his 3-0 over the Moist Roy, including a 4-diamond Game 1. Just twice in these 8 games did the D-Dog-Yori pair manage to pluck a diamond in the first minute. For a perfect example of why early diamond accumulation matters, look at Game 3 of the D-Dog Gact set. Much like in the Jake DeBuzz Game 5, D-Dog loses an early stock just 35 seconds into the game. Ness is at 70%, a scary percent against Diamond Steve, but not so much against regular Steve. With no diamond in reserve for D-Dog, Gact is able to keep up the aggression, forcing D-Dog to waste iron on tools and pouring on 95% before D-Dog is eventually able to take a stock. A lead Gact would easily ride to victory. Jake's run to 3rd place at Glitch Infinite should be eye-opening for Smash players across the world. Steve has an incredibly flashy combo game and lots of enticing buttons to press. But sometimes the most powerful thing Steve can do is disengage and mine those resources. Jake's prioritization of mining and his ability to keep his iron and diamond on deck was the clear point of separation between him and the other Steves who rampaged through the Glitch Infinite bracket this weekend. And honestly, for the man from Minecraft, what could be more fitting? Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, please check out PGstats.com and follow us for more information. This has been Kimona, and if you want to keep up with me, check me out on Twitter at @thatkimona. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.